Coming up later on the show, we will talk to women's volleyball coach Dustin Reid, as well as men's basketball all-star Jamal Jones. All right, I'm here with women's volleyball coach Dustin Reid. How you doing today, Dustin?
I'm great, Jeremy. Thanks.
Thanks for coming on the show today. Now, your squad's 5-3 to start the season. What have you liked so far from your team?
Well, in the matches we've had some success in, we've been really consistent with the level of fight and spirit that we bring to the court. And I think that's something that we like to think is part of our character, part of our identity as a team, and we've done a good job of implementing that, and with what really is a new team, as much as we have most of our players back from last season. It's a new team with a new personality, new athletes, and so that's something we're really happy about.
Now, with, I guess, kind of a new team, there are some kinks to be worked out. What do you think this team can be improved upon going on further in the season?
Yeah, good question. I think our personality in the past has been more of a defensive team, and a team that tries to put pressure on opponents. And when we had issues, it was when we weren't able to score really well. And I think our offense has been much better this year. I think we need to get back to our strong defensive play, consistent defensive play, and against the teams that we're eyeing to compete against and beat, to be able to put more pressure on them and sort of make them feel that they're in for a battle.
Now, this is a squad that went to the Final Four last year, but you have some new additions. One in Emily Betteridge, who played her first game this Sunday. How high is the potential for this team?
Well, I think our goal this year is to compete with the best teams in the league, and that's something we've talked a lot about is measuring ourselves both in training and competition against the best teams. And we played a match last weekend against a very good team in Toronto that played a great game. We fell short in the match, but we had good moments within it. We have another tough match this weekend, particularly Friday night against Queens. A very strong team, a team that's in the playoff picture right now. And so, I think we're learning about ourselves through these kind of competitions, and we're setting goals to get into the playoffs, and when we get there, to do what it takes to try to compete for a championship. So, I think that's within our potential, without a doubt. We have a lot of work to do to get there, but I'm really happy with our start so far.
Okay, great. Well, appreciate it, Coach. Thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks very much. It's been my maiden podcast voyage, and hope I can come back sometime.
Dustin Reid, women's volleyball head coach. All right, I'm here with Jamal Jones. How you doing today, Jamal?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you guys are 5-1 to start the season, including a win against 7th-ranked Windsor, where you scored a career-high 31 points. What is the ceiling for this team?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't think any of the players know. I think the coaches know more than us, but we know that we have to come in and work every day and just try to be better every single day. We practice and play. We have a lot of talent, a lot of new players, so chemistry right now is an issue for us. We're trying to build that chemistry and let guys learn. Like, guys are learning how the CIS game really works. And right now I think we're trying to build a defensive background because, defense was championships. And if we're committed on the defensive end of the floor, we can be really good.
Now, you personally have been part of this program for 4 years now. This is your 4th season. You guys kind of started as an average team, and you've been a big reason as to why this team is really now recognized as one of the best in the country. What type of progression have you seen in this program?
I just think the type of players we brought in and the commitment that we have. We know that Ryerson's never been, we haven't been that great as a basketball team after they went to nationals like a decade ago. And we know that we have to work hard for everything, especially downtown Toronto with the Raptors around other good sports teams that have majority of the market. So we know we're not gonna get that buzz that everybody else gets, but we know having Rana around creates some type of buzz in Canada basketball around us. So at times there's pressure on us because we have our coach has this great figure in the basketball community. So we know we have to work hard just because of his reputation, who he is, and it just makes our team a lot more focused and committed to who we are as people too, because we know people are always watching us. And we know, as for example, myself, as I'm going through my 4th year, I don't want to leave my career knowing that I didn't accomplish what I really wanted to accomplish, which is trying to play in nationals again and win a national championship.
Now, you say that Ryerson's hosting nationals next season. It'll be your 5th and final year. What does it mean to you to potentially end your career with a national championship on your home court?
It's always something I dreamed of. Like, in my 5th year, I always wanted to finish my career at home or even at nationals, which is a good scenario for me next year. I don't really think that far, but I know it'll be something that'll be a great farewell for me, Bjorn, and Jordan. So hopefully we give it our all this year, and next year we'll think about it next year when it happens.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us today, Jamal. Men's basketball all-star, Jamal Jones.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you, Jamal Jones and Dustin Reid. Insightful as always.
Couple great guests, a couple well-spoken individuals. Dustin, always a pleasure. Great guy, great coach, and he's an interesting guy as well. He's very calm on the court, but you just never know.
Well, men's basketball getting this week underway in Rams sports. They will travel. They will face Guelph as well as Lakehead.
Couple of really different locations.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Lakehead, notoriously strong. Not so much this season as they've been kind of ravished by injuries as well as graduating players. So that should be two W's for the men's team. And then the women's team also playing Guelph and Lakehead, so should be competitive games for them.
Well, actually, Lakehead lost their head coach, if I'm not mistaken, Scott Morrison, leaving for NBA development team in the Boston region, and so that's a big loss. He's one of the top coaches in Canada, really, in my opinion, and fellow Islander. Got to throw that in there.
How about women's basketball playing Lakehead and Guelph?
Hey, though it's going to be another good matchup for them. I think they have a really good chance of getting back in the win column this weekend. Let's see if they can do so.
Now, women's volleyball, they're home to Queens and RMC. Queens, a very tough opponent, and then RMC, who can challenge you, but should be a victory for them.
Yeah, I think so. I think both teams are going to be – the Queens game is going to be the marquee matchup of the weekend for both men's and women's. I know men's against Queens have really battled it back and forth, and so have women's. So I think it's going to be a good matchup. I'm looking forward to broadcasting it on the Rams network. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a couple strong volleyball contests.
Now, women's hockey taking on York and UOIT. Big weekend for them, kind of – they could really improve and make a statement this season with 2 wins.
Well, I think for them, getting 2 wins this weekend and then going into the last week of competition before the exam period, that would be huge. I think if they can continue to pile up the wins that they need to win, they're going to be okay. They may just have a chance at the playoffs this year.
Now, men's hockey on the road taking on Laurentian and Nipissing. Nipissing, normally a tough opponent for them, and Laurentian a newcomer to the OUA.
Laurentian is a newcomer to the OUA. You're right. Nipissing has always been a really foolish team, but they aren't as strong this season. I expect the men's hockey team to continue to score a lot of goals, and we'll hopefully see good results from them.
Now, we're a little over halfway into Movember. Ryan rocking a little bit of lip sweater up there. We think. We can't quite see it, but
It's really furry.
And let's talk about Ryerson Rams Movember.
Yeah, so actually, if you go on RyersonRams.ca, we have a Movember donation page that you can log on to. It should be on our homepage right now. Be sure to check it out. And, hey, it's for a great cause, men's prostate cancer. So, hey, any little awareness by growing a Mo or even just by donating always helps.
Absolutely. So be sure to check out that, as well as all other score, schedule, news, and anything to do with the Ryerson Rams. Check out ryersonrams.ca. That'll do it for this week. For Ryan McKenna, I'm Jeremy Pearl. Have a good one, everyone.